Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking Married to Medicine because there is a scandal, you guys, an awful scandal involving Dr. Jackie. So the other day she was on a live or whatever with Dr. Heavenly and basically attack black women, you guys. So imagine being an OBGYN and getting on live knowing that black women are dying, black maternal women are dying at alarming rates that had literally spiked up starting in the pandemic because their pain, their care was not taken seriously by physicians. And by the time it was too late, right? And something horrific happened, right? And Jackie got on and basically said that black women are dramatic and that they just want days off of work and they want to come in 25 plus days throughout their pregnancy to just get a pink slip to take off of work for a few days, and that their pain isn't real and that they're just, trying to seek something. I don't understand. And so former patients of Dr. Jackie's was in the comments on the neighborhood talk, basically speaking to how Dr. Jackie does not take, pain that black women say seriously. And one guy who was a husband said that, he was trying to convince Dr. Jackie that his wife was in excruciating pain. And she didn't believe him and told him, well, she doesn't look like she's in pain. But here's the thing. A medical professional would know that pain does not always have to be visible, you guys. Pain does not always have to be visible. You can feel that pain internally or whatever. Everybody has different ways of expressing being in pain, right? But they're not always going to show it on their face, right? Or they might have a certain demeanor or whatever, right? But if they're telling you that their pain is a 10 out of 10 and you're like, oh no, I'm just going to let it rock because I think that they're drug seeking. No. See, as somebody who's worked in healthcare, when patients are drug seeking, that's a totally different situation than what Dr. Jackie is trying to make happen here, right? When you have a drug seeking patient, usually what happens is they know down to the dose and the amount of fentanyl and morphine and Dilaudid that you need, right? That they need in their system as ASAP, right? They know it down to, the calculation of what is normal and what their dose is, what their tolerance level is, right? Those are people that you need to be concerned about, right? That know that information before you even, say hello to them, right? Before you even do your assessment on them, they already know, hey, I need that Dilaudid. I need that fentanyl, right? I need that morphine. They already know, right? Knock my pain out and knock me out. They know, but this is not the same thing. When black women are specifically having pain throughout their pregnancy, having hypertension, having all kinds of different disorders, and potentially, their life-threatening conditions between not just themselves, but the child or children that they're carrying. And it's so annoying that, Dr. Jackie is taking this approach. And you just did, an interview with the Vice President of the United States and Kamala Harris saying that, you knew and you were educated and we have to be informed about the death rates of black women, black pregnant women. And then you do this foolishness with Dr. Heavenly. So she's getting dragged up, down, left, and right. And I always found it interesting how Jackie, even when she makes her comments that are just elitist and messy, for the most part, she doesn't really have a bad edit on the show. And I always found it odd because I don't know if you guys would ever scour around social media, like in between the seasons or some of these Facebook groups for these reality shows, but people would try to go in and attack Dr. Simone and try to, make her the issue when her and Dr. Jackie were no longer working at the same practice together. And I didn't buy into it because I was like, well, how did all these seasons go by and nobody has anything bad to say about Dr. Jackie? And not only that, it seems though, and somebody alluded to this in the comments, which I kind of figured, was that pretty much Dr. Jackie, the bulk of her patient clientele these days are celebrities or people who are rich that are going to pay her the money that, she wants to be paid. And apparently, she will not see people who are on Medicaid, right? And it doesn't shock me because a lot of times on the show, how many times are we seeing featured other reality stars or other celebrities from, different platforms that are a patient of Dr. Jackie's, right? It was like a who's who in Atlanta that she was, basically treating, right? So I found that interesting, but it doesn't even, Dr. Jackie doesn't even sound like a black female doctor. That's like what's so wild in all of this, is she doesn't even sound like she's a black physician that would be empathetic and understanding of, what a black woman is going through, right? In terms of her saying that she's in pain and physicians, medical professionals not taking it seriously, not doing anything, not bothering to give them pain meds because they think that they're just there to get pain meds and get a pink slip to get out of work. No. That is completely BS. So Buffy, who was a former cast member on Married to Medicine, she spoke out and basically said that she's been telling us about Dr. Jackie for years. See, people came for her because she was doing all these lives and YouTubes basically exposing Dr. Jackie and how mean and how vile she is behind the scenes, and how Bravo is giving her this glowing edict because she portrays the type of black woman that they want to push, right? The successful, that's elite, that is going to look down on her own people if she doesn't feel that they're good enough and all of those things, but hide behind the messiest people, but pretend that she's self-righteous and this perfect human being and all the things. Buffy exposed all of this all of the time, and people would be like, well, I don't want to hear from Buffy. She's bitter that she's no longer on the show and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, do you forget what Jackie did to her? And what she minimized with Buffy and her issues? That was completely horrible. And Jackie didn't take any accountability at all. If you want to call it an apology, I called it phony. It didn't seem genuine at all. And so now Mariah also is making the headlines as well, because she did an interview recently basically talking about what she's up to now, what she thinks about the quad situation and everything else. And then she was also asked about Dr. Jackie. And she said, you shouldn't be surprised by Dr. Jackie's comments, right? That's who she is. And it's just that the public is seeing it more now after all these seasons, but this has always been Dr. Jackie. So I always wondered why they always, didn't bother, to ever show Jackie be too messy. They always left that for Simone to be the one that they're just going to give her this awful edit so that she's not going to look a certain way to Bravo execs to promote and to have an interview set up with Kamala Harris, right? And they were going to make sure that Dr. Jackie would be their golden child for Married to Medicine, their elite doctor that they can push. That they know is not going to cause any waves with the upper echelon of people and the who's who in some of these spaces. But it's just unfortunate that, because it makes me now want to think back to previous seasons and previous episodes of how much was cut out about Dr. Jackie. Because everybody had suspicion just by how close she was with Dr. Heavenly, to the point that her friendship with Simone basically was destroyed. And even though they're kind of semi-cool now, it's never going to be the same. And, you know, basically, I think Simone had even said that basically the show ruined their friendship, right? But even with all of that being said, you know, she rode so hard for Dr. Heavenly, which told me everything I needed to know about Dr. Jackie, right? Because if you're going to ride this hard for Dr. Heavenly and completely throw away a 30-year plus friendship with Dr. Simone, that tells me everything I need to know about you, right? That tells me everything I need to know about you and the qualities that you are possessing and the behavior that you're willing to excuse if it means that you don't have to showcase how awful you are behind the scenes, right? That if you can hide behind somebody else being the one that's messy and trying to expose others, that you're going to get off scot-free and that you're going to be the one that's going to be seen as like perfection to everyone, right? But a lot of people, you know, would see with certain comments that Dr. Jackie has made over the years that she puts herself on this pedestal. And that's why I find it so funny that they gave these same arguments to Quad and Mariah, that they claim that they're on this pedestal and that they're queen of the castle. But really, it's the people who are icing them out because they want to be the star of the show, right? So making, you know, Quad and Mariah the fall guys really doesn't make any sense, because that means you're just going to cannibalize each other now with Quad being gone. So, but I am not shocked at all that finally, you know, we're seeing Jackie's true colors. You know, and I wonder how Heavenly is going to handle this, because she basically just let Jackie just say whatever. She was like, "This is your opinion. This is what you're saying to the people." And so Heavenly didn't even intervene. She just let Jackie rock and just say all of this foolishness, right? So we will see what happens, right? I know some people are calling for Dr. Jackie to be fired from the show. I don't know if it's going to go that far, to be honest with you, because it seems like Bravo execs love her. Just like people beg for Dr. Heavenly to be fired, like every season, right? But again, producers love Dr. Heavenly because she's willing to go be messy. She's willing to be messy and, you know, try to expose other marriages, try to, you know, get into it with other women and all of the things, right? But again, what is the cost of that, right? What is the cost of that when some of these people, you know, are desperate to be on reality TV, right? And desperate to be seen on reality TV and get fame and clout and everything else, right? So that's all my thoughts on everything. I think it is awful that Dr. Jackie did this, and it kind of puts things into perspective as to how amazing of an edit that she is getting. Even when she is being messy and making, you know, nasty comments about others, it's never on the level of anything that's being drawn out like it is compared to the other women, right? That basically Dr. Jackie, she'll say something completely, you know, reckless and messy and mean, and then it's like everybody moves on, right? And that's why Buffy was no longer on the show, right? Because she dared to call out Dr. Jackie. She dared to call out Dr. Jackie, which she was right about to do. And Dr. Jackie couldn't handle it. And next thing you know, Buffy's no longer on the show. Right? So that told me everything I need to know as far as who Bravo prioritizes on this show and who doesn't, right? And who isn't getting that same type of treatment and that they find expendable, right? So I was not shocked at all that this happened. I can't believe it actually took so long, because there's been plenty of times that Dr. Jackie on the show has showed her slip, but people, you know, have amnesia, or there was so much other chaos and drama that was happening with other cast members that it kind of just got swept to the side with Jackie's, you know, off-color comments and everything else. So, but yeah, it's just wild. I mean, we're nearing the end of 2023, and there are just some views that Dr. Jackie has that I if I close my eyes, I would think that this is coming from like a white male physician. I'm just keeping it a buck, right? That's who I would expect to say the things that Jackie said in this video, right? So there is that. Let me know your guys' thoughts about this. What do you guys think of Dr. Jackie saying that black women are dramatic, that they're not really in pain, that they just want pink slips to be out of work during their pregnancy for more than 25 doctor's visits? They're not really in pain, even though black women have the highest mortality rate. Black pregnant women, in particular, have the highest mortality rate, and it shot up during the pandemic. And you literally just did a thing with Kamala Harris talking about how people needed to be informed. But you're saying that the patients that you have, the clientele that you have, when you're not seeing celebrities, that they're all full of it. That they're all full of it, they're not really in pain, and they just want pain medication and the option to just not have to work, right? But that's not the case, right? There's no reason for you to be pregnant and in pain and seeing your doctor and telling your doctor you're in pain and them not doing anything, right? And even, you know, for the ladies out there that you get your examinations, even for some females, the pap smears are uncomfortable, right? Or those of you who have IUDs for birth control, that insertion process is painful and uncomfortable, right? Depending on, you know, because not everybody is built and shaped the same. And, you know, whether you're short or tall or whatever, that also impacts how some of these examinations can go. So even, you know, procedures and appointments such as that for just even a pap smear or an insertion of an IUD or just other standard procedures that you would see, you know, when you're seeing an OB, when you're seeing, you know, your obstetrics and gynecology doctor, you can be in pain just from that, just from an in-office appointment. So for Dr. Jackie to completely minimize even a pregnant woman and her risk for all of these disorders and, you know, preeclampsia and other diseases is completely insane. It's completely insane because you're supposed to be the expert. You're supposed to be the person treating these patients. And this is just completely awful. So I'm curious to see what the fallout of this is going to be. Like I said, I don't think Dr. Jackie's going to lose her job. But maybe they'll drag her at the reunion if the reunion has not been filmed yet. But maybe either Dr. Jackie's going to come out with a statement or some type of an apology or something. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be some type of PR spin on this to where she's going to be like, oh, this was taken out of context and I was referring to this specific example of black women and blah, 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 blah. Like, just wait for it, you guys. Just wait for it. So there is that. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.